We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
There is a signal broadcast every second of every day. Look around the environment we live in. Carbon dioxide, fluorocarbons, and methane have increased. We are resourced to them. They want benign indifference. They want us drugged. We could be pets. We could be food. But all we really are is livestock. Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. The poor and the underclass are growing. Racial justice and human rights are non-existent. They have created a repressive society, and we are their unwitting accomplices. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness. We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We are focused only on our own gain. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered. That is their primary method of survival. Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated.
¿Qué hubo, raza? Yo soy Ernesto Ayala, and this is Aztlán Weekly.
We begin with news from our camarada Enrique Cardiel desde Burkey, Nuevo Mexicaslán, New Mexico. An independent study indicates high levels of heavy metals in Mora County, New Mexico groundwater, with some exceeding federal safe drinking water limits for antimony, arsenic, and uranium. The New Mexico Environment Department and Department of Health have issued a warning recommending that private well owners get their water tested. Recent wildfires may be contributing to the unhealthy levels, as many of the metals are found in chemicals used for firefighting. This working-class county has been neglected by federal authorities for a long time. It is a county where it is traditional for people to have their own wells for water, and this risk will pose culturally y también physical challenges for its communities. Our camarada Enrique also reports New Mexico lawmakers plan to introduce legislation in 2026 to study K.A. Historia and ongoing effects of forced sterilization of indigenous mujeres and women of color in the state. This proposal involves a memorial calling for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to investigate abuses and recommend measures potentially making New Mexico the first state to formally acknowledge and probe these violations. Enrique notes it is important to attempt to know and understand just how much of this happened, and hopefully this push will lead toward the truth and hopefully justice para nuestras mujeres y hermanas. Y noticias from our camarada Andrea Martinez desde Crazy Town, Roswell, Nuevo Mexicaslán, New Mexico, as she reports, quote, last Friday, Geneva Martinez of With Many Hands rallied a diverse group of nonprofits, including the New Mexico Department of Health and the Chavez County Detention Center, for a roundtable discussion on one of the biggest barriers facing unhoused and at-risk residents, such as difficulties in obtaining essential documents like birth certificates, social security cards, and state-issued IDs, which are often needed to obtain one another, creating a cycle that can seem impossible to break. As the plática unfolded, Jocelyn Smith of Food Not Bombs Roswell stressed the importance of street outreach, especially with winter approaching. Outreach not only provides cold weather gear, but also helps locate individuals who need replacement documents. Kerry Moore of the Chavez County Health Council added that Operation Stand Down, a veteran-focused outreach event organized through Together with Veterans, was scheduled for February to identify homeless or at-risk veterans. After assessing growing needs, the group made a pivotal decision, move the event up by 3 months. That shift sparked a wave of collaboration. In just 3 weeks, Together with Veterans secured funding and supplies to launch an accelerated Operation Stand Down. The Health Council mobilized its network, bringing in agencies capable of offering wraparound services on site. Molina Healthcare and La Casa Healthcare enrolled attendees in insurance. Casa Kids deployed its mobile command unit to assist families. UNM Truman provided STD testing while the Department of Health offered flu shots and birth certificates. Pecos Valley Emergency Services delivered medical support. America's Job Center, Roswell Job Corps, and Goodwill provided employment resources. Rustic Health offered home-based personal care. Renew Health shared substance abuse treatment options, and Roswell Humane Society supplied dog food. ENMMC distributed snacks, and Region 4 Housing and HUD VASH assisted with housing needs. The Las Cruces Vet Center and the Department of Veterans Affairs helped veterans obtain employment records and sign up for benefits. Many other positive results were immediate. Alianza and La Casa Behavioral Health secured housing for 4 individuals through their linkages program. With many hands helped, 7 people obtained IDs, with 2 more nearing completion. Food Not Bombs served a Thanksgiving meal to those attending, wrapping the day in community warmth. The success of Operation Stand Down demonstrates a powerful truth. When organizations join forces, they amplify each other's impact. By working together, the community can identify its strengths, fill its gaps, and build a stronger, more compassionate Chavez County for everyone. Y noticias from our camarada Chista Garcilaso desde Arizona, Arizona. The newly named indigenous heritage site Chudagmu Balvaki, managed by the Arizona Museum of Natural History and rooted in the O'odham name meaning blue fly's place of dwelling, excuse me if I mispronounced that, reopened for the season on Saturday, November 15th, 2025. It is located at 1000 North Date Street in Mesa. The site preserves an ancient O'odham platform mound and civic center that once supported more than 27,000 acres of farmland. Visitors can explore the grounds Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays from 12 to 4 p.m. with admission at $6 for adults and $3 for children. The seasonal opening highlights the renewed commitment to honoring indigenous stewardship and reconnecting the community with one of the valley's most significant ancestral sites. More details can be found at www.arizonamuseumofnaturalhistory.org. And in other news, there's the Arizona Slan. According to an azfamily.com report posted last week, following an investigation in Coolidge, Arizona, authorities seized over 110 fighting roosters and indicted 2 men, Samuel Felix and Gerald Vaughn, on numerous felony charges related to operating a cockfighting ring. The investigation involved multiple agencies, also uncovered cockfighting paraphernalia, cash, firearms, and neglected animals. Read the full report at azfamily.com. Y noticias from our camarada Oscar Ochoa desde Tejaslan. If things weren't difficult enough in Texas for migrants, they will soon be even more difficult, as the Supreme Court ruled it is legal to racial profile through the U.S. Texas Department of Public Safety, or DPS, has entered 28-7G agreements con la Migra, also known as ICE, deputizing selected highway patrol and criminal investigations troopers to act as federal immigration officers under the quote-unquote task force model. Trained troopers can question and arrest people suspected of immigration violations during regular duties. DPS calls it a continuation of federal-state cooperation. Civil rights advocates warn it expands racial profiling and unsafe non-public safety traffic stops. The move comes as Governor Greg Abbott signed SB 8, requiring county jails, not DPS, to enter 28-7G agreements. DPS is now the 3rd Texas state agency to join the program under the Trump administration, which has urged wider local participation as part of its broader mass deportation agenda. Y en otras noticias, desde El Paso, Tejaslan. According to a recent article posted on KTSM.com, La Ciudad de El Paso is launching a new Adopt a Street program aimed at combating litter and enhancing the city's appearance. The initiative calls for residents, businesses, and community groups to volunteer on specific street segments. Those interested may select 1-mile street segments to adopt. The adoption requires a commitment of a minimum of 4 cleanups per year over a 2-year period. There is no cost to apply. In recognition of the cleanup efforts, the city will produce and install street signs on adopted street segments, crediting participants for their commitment to beautifying the roadway and the community. Program information, including guidelines, the application process, and an interactive map of available street segments, will be shared on a new city webpage currently in development. The city will share an update once the webpage is ready, giving residents a simple way to learn more and get involved. Y noticias desde Colorazlán, Colorado. According to a recent article found on the Colorado Sun website, the Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission has denied Colorado's request for up to 15 gray wolves for its reintroduction program, citing concerns about their own state's wolf population. This decision adds another obstacle to Colorado's goal of sourcing 30 to 50 wolves within 5 years, following rejections or cessation of supply from Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and Oregon. In the past, Colorado had over 24 wolves reintroduced, but according to Colorado Sun article, of those 25 relocated wolves, 10 have died from a variety of causes, including legal and illegal shootings, fights with other predators, vehicle strikes, and in May, when Colorado Parks and Wildlife shot a yearling wolf from the Copper Creek Pack during a lethal removal effort after the wolf had repeatedly killed livestock in Pitkin County. And news from Utah-Slan, Utah. According to a recent article by Fox13Now.com, legislation could mandate standard a wage for Utah construction workers. Legislation could mandate standard wages for Utah construction workers. While Utah currently lacks a state-level prevailing wage law for publicly funded construction projects, recent bills, specifically HB 458 and HB 556, in the 2024 and 2025 legislative sessions, propose establishing a standard wage for construction workers on state-funded projects exceeding $100,000. If enacted, this legislation would require the Utah Labor Commission to determine and publish a prevailing wage for each county and occupation, with contractors mandated to pay at least this rate to qualifying trabajadores. According to the article, quote, a poll released recently shows that voters overwhelmingly support following a standard wage for the construction trades. Local business and political leaders claim a standard wage would improve work quality and lead to more people joining the construction workforce, unquote. Y en noticias desde Nevada-Slan, according to RGJ.com, the state Senate passed a crime bill with an immigration-focused amendment during the November 2025 special session, sending it to the Assembly. The bill, a priority for Governor Joe Lombardo, included provisions like requiring detention centers to maintain public lists of detainees. The final status of this specific bill after the special session is currently unclear. Read more about the Nevada State Senate's actions at rgj.com. And news from Califaslan, California. According to a recent ABC 7 News report, the Trump administration's Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against California on November 17, 2025, challenging new state laws that ban masked federal agents and require clear identification during operations. Federal officials argue the laws are unconstitutional and endanger migra or ICE kidnappers, while California asserts they address public safety risks from unidentified agents. According to the report, quote, California became the first state to ban most law enforcement officers, including La Migra agents, from covering their faces while conducting official business under a bill that was signed in September by the Governor Gavin Newsom. The law prohibits neck gaiters, ski masks, and other facial coverings for local and federal officers, including immigration enforcement agents, as they conduct official business. It makes exceptions for undercover agents, protective equipment like N95 respirators or tactical gear, and it does not apply to state police. The laws require federal law enforcement agencies to issue a mask policy by July 1st, 2026, and a visible identification policy by January 1st, 2026. In defense of the new laws, California Attorney General Rob Bonta's office stated, it's problematic when Californians can't tell the difference between a law enforcement officer who is charged with protecting them and a criminal who is attempting to cause them harm. Bonta's office said in a statement, the FBI itself has warned that the practice of ICE agents obscuring their identity has led to a rise in copycats committing crimes, threatening public safety and eroding trust in law enforcement. And in further Califas-related news, desde Oaklandia, according to the Week.com, hundreds of students at Skyline High School in Oakland staged a walkout on November 18, 2025, to protest gun violence in their community and on school campuses, highlighting their frustration and calling for safer learning environments. The walkout was a direct response to 2 shooter incidents within a week, including a student shooting on campus and the fatal shooting of a former Skyline coach nearby, prompting demands for increased transparency, better mental health services, gun violence education, and accountability from the school and district. And in other news, the Long Beach Sur Califas, According to a recent LAist article, the city of Long Beach has launched a new employment and job training program using a $130,000 federal grant to assist residents affected by the January 2025 Southern California wildfires. The initiative offers paid work experience opportunities for up to 10 participants and training scholarships of up to $7,500 each for an additional 5 individuals. According to the article, how to apply, anyone interested in applying can contact Nakawa Shepherd, Career Center Manager, Economic Development and Opportunity at nakawa.shepherd@longbeach.gov, or visit the LB Wynn Adult Career Services Center. How to participate? Long Beach's Economic Development and Opportunity Office also is looking for local employers to provide on-the-job training for applicants. And now, Aslan Weekly presenta Palabra.
This is Christian Williams Vigil, Chicana writer from El Paso, Texas, current reservation of the Tigua people and native lands to the Manso people. Orgullosamente, soy hija y nieta de inmigrantes. I have deep roots in Ciudad Juárez and Santa Barbara, Chihuahua. My ancestors were all hardworking people, and that drive pumps freely in my veins. Being raised on the border impacts my writing in that I'm very much not ashamed of my identity. Under these Chihuahuan desert skies, my bronze skin radiates and glows with joy. Here in El Paso, also known as Chuco Town or the 915, we wear our heritage with pride and don't make any apologies for it. We are El Paso strong. We band together when we confront great evils, such as the Walmart shooting in 2019. We mourn together, singing Amor Eterno at the top of our lungs and like Opal for comfort. This mindset translates into my work as an educator. I've been in the classroom at some capacity since 2014, whether it be as a sign language interpreter or as an English teacher, and I've been greatly inspired by my students. I was published in 2024 with Somos Chicanas Anthology of Resistance for my poem Los Pajaritos, where I give a message of support to my past, present, and future migrant students, porque somos de aquí y de allá. Currently, I'm working on my magnum opus, my YA fantasy novel called Rise of La Reina. It's about a girl who discovers not only her indigenous roots, but also her ties to the Mexica gods. It also includes a local legend about a haunted high school here in El Paso, so please be on the lookout for that. And without further ado, I would like to share another poem of mine with you all today called Maleducación. It expresses my frustrations about the current issues in education and the struggles we face. There is a trigger warning. Gun violence is mentioned. However, I would be remiss if I didn't stress the fact that this is something I and other professionals in the field deal with on a daily basis, and it's not a matter of if anymore, but a matter of when. So here we go with my poem, Maleducación. The classroom is flooding, saturated with tiny bodies, hungry because there's a shortage of food. The books that hold all the answers have been banned. The powers that be deem these authors and characters too brown to stay in the room. But still, I fight, calling the assessments what they are. A millionaire's pipeline to more money in his pockets. They accuse me of indoctrination, but half of this administration couldn't spell it to save their lives. Their battle cry in my face is, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do to make the test scores look good. Be the sacrificial lamb. Slit your throat and bleed it onto content the districts have scrutinized and paid high prices for. But your salary won't go up. If it doesn't fall under approaches, meets, and masters categories, then it has no place here. But there's always room for shooters reloading clips in the restroom stalls. They rewrote our grammar rules to include who takes the bullet first. It is I before he, except after we. And when they come to collect our bodies, admin will scoff that I left no subplans for the survivors. If you would like to stay up to date with my other pieces that have been published in various literary spaces, or be in the know about events where I lead workshops or do open mics, You can check out my website, christianwilliams-vigil.com, or my Instagram, at ChristyVigilWriter. I regularly post TikTok videos of myself poking fun at being a writer using the latest sound trends, but most importantly, I use my platform to highlight injustices we are facing as a community. I believe in the power of the word and the power of the people, and want to use my platform to elevate that. I leave you all with a final call to action. Please, now more than ever, read, read, read. Whether it's comics, poems, nonfiction, articles, sci-fi, romance, or horror, please get your hands on a book. It's one of our biggest tools of resistance that we have, and this administration knows that. That's why they're working overtime to yank so many titles off of our shelves and out of the hands of our little ones. I thank you all again for your time today, and may we find light at the end of these dark days, and may we rise again like the great empires we once were. Thank you. At the end of these dark days, may our copal scents carry our spirit up high, and may we rise again like the great empires we once were. Thank you.
And now, eventos en Aztlán.
Food Not Bombs Roswell, New Mexico is a division, a nonprofit under the umbrella of Hagerman Forward. Serves food to those in need every Sunday at 1 and Thursdays at 4. If you reside in the Roswell area or are in need of food, please contact Jocelyn Smith for food distribution locations. I can be reached at 575-208-9509, or you can visit our Facebook page, Food Not Bombs Roswell, New Mexico. Food Not Bombs is a community organization dedicated to feeding the hungry. We believe in providing nutritious meals to those in need rather than wasting food on bombs and violence. Volunteers prepare and serve meals in public spaces, fostering a sense of community and support.
Un evento de Aztlán. Talk about a good time. A food drive as announced on the Vegas Latinas Instagram account. Quote, join us for a community food drive on Saturday, November 22nd from 12 to 2:30 p.m. at Tacotarian. We'll be collecting donations to support local families through the Just One Project. The most needed items include boxed cereal, baby formula or baby food, protein shakes, pasta, and boxed easy-to-make meals like hamburger helper. Everyone who brings a donation will receive a free taco voucher from Tacotarian while supplies last. Guests can also choose to pay their voucher forward to help provide a meal for someone directly affected by the government shutdown. SNAP pause. All collected items will be delivered to the Just One Project the following Monday. This is a simple way to come together, give back, and support our community. Tacotarian is located at 1130 South Casino Center Boulevard, number 170, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89104. Once again, Vegas Latinas announces this food drive takes place Saturday, November 22nd, 12 noon to 2:30 p.m. Thank you, Tacotarian, for the space to host and food support. This event is brought together by Vegas Latinas, Hotties Worldwide, the Tacotarian Restaurant, and the Just One Project. Make sure to check out at Vegas Latinas on Instagram para más información. Un evento en Arizona, Aztlán, Arizona, shared by our camarada Shista Garcilaso. Come by and celebrate 10 years of Palabras Bilingual Bookstore. El evento, Liberation Loteria, a community fundraiser on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, from 4 to 9 p.m. at 906 West Roosevelt Street, Phoenix. The event features performances, a puppet show about Casa Caracol's mission, food vendors, mini workshops, giveaways, and a special Loteria game created just for the anniversary. All ages are welcome. For details, visit palabrasbookstore.com. Y otro evento en Arizona, Aztlán, the Cultural Coalition, Inc. announces, get ready to get on the dance floor at Portal Fest on Saturday, November 22nd at the Sedav Va'aki Museum with the Tohono O'odham Huayla Cruz Band. Always an audience favorite at the festival. Their chicken scratch grooves are upbeat, get your feet moving music that is fun for all ages. Presented by Cultural Coalition and Desert Diamond Casino in partnership with the Sedav Va'aki Museum. This event is free and open to the public. Un ongoing evento en Las Vegas, Nevada Slan, as reported on the website vegaspbs.org. Come visit the Nubu Art Gallery and Community Center to view the Cosmic Chicano Solo Art exhibition by artist Brian Martinez. This art exhibit explores Chicano and Mexican-American art as Martinez blends themes of the mythical, ancestral, and contemporary, as well as cultural pride, transformation, and duality. The exhibition is on view through November 22nd, 2025. Gallery hours, Thursdays and Fridays, 4 to 8 p.m. Saturdays, 12 to 4 p.m. Cost admission is free. The Nubu Art Gallery and Community Center, 1331 South Maryland Parkway, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89104. NAGCC is a people of color-owned art and activism space. This exhibition is sponsored by Indigenous AF and the Andy Warhol Foundation for the Visual Arts. Para más información, visit nuwuart.com. And once again, our camarada Joe Gonzalez desde Califa shares La Resistencia Brown Berets National y la Mesa Nacional de los Brown Berets in conjunction with the North American School for Organizers and the Second Rainbow Coalition invite you to join La Klescha Fireside Chats. Revolutionary political education classes. Join them online to sit around the fire para una plática that looks forward to build structure within the movement of community organizers and learn about history, unity, and resistance. This is a weekly online event taking place via Zoom every Thursday evening at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it is open to the public. For more information, visit naso.network. Y en Los Ángeles, our camarada Diosa X, desde Southern Califas, has released her latest libro, Me Chicana. As she posted online, Me Chicana, Poemas y Más. Poemas will continue its launch tour. Come by 11/22/25, Saturday, November 22 at 11 a.m. at America Tropical Interpretive Center. Address 125 Paseo de la Plaza.
And now shoutouts.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. It's Robert Ramirez here. Today I want to talk about a classic. This one everyone knows, if not you should know. It's Bless Me Ultima by Rudolfo Anaya. So I don't have the book in my hands, but it's probably here on my shelf somewhere. I have a lot of different copies of it actually, older versions, newer versions. They made a movie about the book. It's been adapted into a play by many different theaters across the country. Bless Me Ultima is one of those books that everyone should read. It was actually the very first book we read back in 2020 when we started the Brown Book Club. This is the coming-of-age story based in 1940s New Mexico. We follow the character Antonio as he's caught between two worlds. On one hand, his mother wants him to grow to become a priest. On the other hand, his father wants him to grow up to be a cowboy, a vaquero. But the book is all about Antonio finding his own path. Everything changes when La Grande, the curandera Ultima, comes to live with Antonio and his family. With Ultima, we get a deep sense of indigenous Mexican culture. When you think of curanderos, curanderas, brujas, a lot of things might come to mind. Ultima is the type to give blessings, to be able to heal. She knows about herbs and different remedies, natural remedies. I think this book is helpful in characterizing what it means to be a curandera, a bruja, right? We think of these words, brujas, witches, and we think so negative, right? Especially those of us that came from a real big Catholic upbringing where witchcraft and, is the devil. But we have ancient roots, ancient indigenous roots that also mean something to us. Back to the book. Ultima teaches him that connection to the land is also very important. There's a bit of a mystery going on with this book. Murder, death, witchcraft. This book is often on the ban list in many states due to the conflicting views when it comes to Christianity or Catholicism and natural spirituality. I'll be honest, when I first read this book just 5-6 years ago led me to wrestle with my faith a bit. As soon as we started discussing this book, I knew I was being very close-minded when it came to all natural, spiritual, indigenous medicines. I had always been taught through my Catholic upbringing that was wrong. This book really helped me open my mind and take in other perspectives. It really helped me to dig deep into my own history and my own culture. Now, we can't talk about this book without talking about Rudolfo Anaya, the godfather of Chicano literature. Anaya opened doors for generations of writers telling stories that are rooted in our landscapes. In this case, Nuevo Mexico, New Mexico, right? Our families, our contradictions, even la brujeria that's connected to our culture. Bless Mi Ultima was published back in 1972 and immediately became a cornerstone for Chicano-style literature, Chicano-style storytelling. So get your hands on this book, watch the play, watch the movie, read it, discuss it with your family, and be open-minded.
And we'd also like to make otro special shout out to Hennessy Pedro Parker desde Houston, Tejaslan, for providing his firme beats. If you'd like to hear more from him, visit soundcloud.com/Hennessy-Pedro-Parker. And a shout out to all the raza keeping our people safe and aware to the extent that they can from the terror raids and kidnappings happening across Aztlán and beyond at this moment. And once again, our camarada Veronica Aliel would like to give a shout out to all raza who are in any way contributing to building locally in their communities. And an invite to join El Partido Nacional de la Raza Unida to build national political power. If interested, visit razaunidaparty.org. That's razaunidaparty.org. Finally, Aztlán Weekly would like to hear from you, raza. If you reside anywhere in Aztlán and would like to share newsworthy events with us, or if you would like to make a special shout out to family, friends, y queridos, or an organization serving our community, or if you would like to share your thoughts, cáiganle, shoot us an email at news@aztlanweekly.com, or you can visit our website at aztlanweekly.com. You can also find us on social media, search Aztlán Weekly and click follow. Subscribe, like, or share. Gracias. Que viva la raza y que viva Aztlán libre. Es todo.
Minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.